friends. Today we are going to talk about how to witch on a budget. And what I mean by that is, how do you do the spell jars and the simmer pots and the kitchen witchy stuff without breaking the bank? And this is a question that I get asked a lot. My motto, you know, is to use what you have. So I'm going to help you get started with what is already in your pantry, already in your house right now. And if you want to add things, I can add those things without, like, you know, needing to take out a loan. All right, let's start. So let's start with spell jars. Now, you could go on Amazon and get a bunch of these little jars. I've also heard people say that they are at the Dollar Tree in some places, but you also don't need these, okay? You don't. If you want them, great. But I guarantee you have some things in your house that can be used as spell jars. For instance, go through your spice drawer, find the spices that have expired, toss those in a simmer pot, and now you have a spell jar, all right? Or if you're a fan of these like tiny juices, these are perfect spell jar size. Perfect. These are at Costco right now too, which is exciting. Or if you have medicine bottles, travel, Advil containers, like any of those work great for spell jars. They don't have to be like the beautiful, clear, aesthetic, brand new things. I think it's more fun to use things that are a little bit grungy, things are a little bit weird too. Like, imagine if this was just like floating around in your purse, like sealed with wax, filled with like crystals and herbs and stuff. Like, that's a story in and of itself. Now for simmer pots, right? I've talked about this before. You could get the fancy glass one, but you can also use any pot, pan, crock pot, Dutch oven, whatever you have is great, is fine, is perfect. Now for the things that you put in the simmer pot, you can also get a little bit scrappy. And by that I mean you can actually use food scraps, right? When you see a recipe that has citrus in it, you don't actually have to use the fruit like an orange. You could use orange peels, lemon extract, lemon concentrate, lemon juice, lemon zest. You know, whatever you have that's lemon. It doesn't have to be the specific fruit that you buy for your simmer pot. If you are someone who eats an orange on a regular basis, just save the orange peels for your simmer pots, or toss them in the simmer pot, or dehydrate them in the oven and use them in your spells. You can really get creative with the different scraps that you have in things that you're already using. If you are someone who gets fresh flowers, you have fresh flowers in your yard, somebody gives you a bouquet, you can save all of those petals for different spells. You can either hang them upside down to dry, or you could take the petals off and press them between wax paper in a book. That's usually going to preserve the color longer, so if that matters to you, go with that route. But I've also just like plucked the near dead petals off and thrown them in a simmer pot and called it a good day. My number one tip, again, is to use what you have. So go to your spice drawer, go to your tea cabinet, go to your fridge, your pantry, and start looking up the magical intentions behind the ingredients that you already have. My guess is you already have everything you need to make an abundance spell or a healing spell or a cleansing or protection or literally whatever intention you have. I guarantee you have things in your house that you can use for it. So for instance, teas, you can rip open the tea bags and pour the herbs into a spell jar, or you can throw the tea bag right into a simmer pot, or you can rip the tea bag open and dress a candle with it. Like, you don't have to always have, you know, the pure, fresh flower buds of lavender to do a spell. You just need like the intention of lavender. So if you have lavender essential oils, if you have a body spray that has lavender, you have a hand lotion that has lavender, use what you have. So my first recommendation to you is to go through these different parts of your home and start to look up the magical properties of the different things that you already have. So if you have cinnamon, apple, oatmeal every morning, great. That's a fantastic abundance spell. You don't even need to get anything else, right? You all know I love it. I love it. Salt for protection. You don't need any other herb or anything else for protection. You can just use what you have. And if you're looking for a good resource to find what those intentions are, I really like Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, which I'll leave a link to in the show notes. But I also post several times a week the magical intentions of different ingredients that you have in your house right now over on my Instagram, which will also be linked down below. Now, if you are wanting to add to your collection of herbs, spices, things for your spells, here's how you can do that without breaking the bank. First things first, if you want to get any kind of bulk herbs like flower petals, mint leaves, chamomile, lavender, rose petal, I always recommend looking at TJ Maxx, Marshall's, Home Goods, any of those kind of stores. This one was $5.99 for a whole thing of chamomile flowers. Perfect for simmer pots, for spell jars, for candles, any of that. You can often find these in either the tea section or the clearance section of those stores. For spices or cinnamon sticks or anything like that, I just get mine at either my local grocery store, or sometimes Amazon has them for cheap, or the Dollar Tree are all great. Now, do you need specifically cinnamon sticks? No. If you just have powdered cinnamon, you what? Use what you have. If you want like an all-encompassing box of different herbs and things that you might need, I really like this one from Holy Santo. I bought this, I think, on Amazon, so I'll leave a link to it, but it has like everything you need, from lavender to mint to catnip to alfalfa, juniper berries. Like, I've literally never needed to go outside of this box. And there's other brands too, like if you go on Etsy, you can find like other brands that have witch kits, things like that. There might be metaphysical stores or natural food stores in your area that have kind of like bulk herb packets like this. These are great. Do you need them? No, but they're fun to have. Now, if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I have all these herbs, what the hell do I do with them? There's a couple of different options. You can go watch my video on simmer pots that I posted a little while ago. That's a great place to start, especially if you want to infuse your space with different magical intentions. You can listen to my podcast episode about spell jars that will get you started making portable spells, or you could just, start playing around when you're making your soup and you throw your oregano in. Oh, I'm throwing in abundance, right? When you salt your potatoes, salt for protection, right? So you can start to play with the different things that you're already making on a day-to-day basis and infusing them with your different intentions. So I hope that helps. Let me know what questions you have down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.